Hello.
Hello. Welcome to Tuesday Talk with the Conways.
I'm Courtney.
And I'm Chris. Thank you also so much for bearing with us. We had a little technical snafu, and looks like we are showing up everywhere, so perfect. All right, just wanted to make sure. Hello, Shelley and Amy. Thank you so much for joining us. And Emily from West Virginia on Instagram. Thank you so much for joining us. For a moment there, we didn't know if Instagram was gonna work because it just wasn't working. But we're glad we were able to get it started for us. So, Vidina, thank you for joining us. If you want to just drop us a line about where you're watching from, or if you're one of our regulars or one of our a new members, so I'm delighted we still haven't perfected the
Yeah,
lighting.
this new room, maybe we can scooch a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll help.
Yeah, that's a little bit better. But yes, so comment where you're watching them if you're one of our regulars or new. We've got Melissa from Texas, so thank you so much for joining us. We're happy to have you here. I'm got a little bit of a headache going on, but I'm gonna push through. And then we'll get to bed. I don't think I ate enough food today, so which is going to be part of our topic
Yes.
today.
He got this new protein, and the great thing is it keeps him full longer,
Hmm.
but then he kind of forgot to eat because he was full. So
Yeah. So the new protein we're trying is MRE from what was it Redcon 1, but it's a whole food protein. So I think the most common protein powder that people use is whey protein.
Mhm.
But this is whole food protein, so it has protein from fish and beef and other types of things, and it keeps me full a little bit more full. So yeah, so we're definitely trying something new. But Cindy from Tennessee, we're not very far from you. We are in Alabama. We've got somebody from Colorado. Looks like there might have been some temporary audio issues with Instagram, but it looks like it is working. And Jody, it is hot, hot, hot.
It's hot here too. We've been under a heat advisory for like a week.
It wasn't 105, but it felt quite
It
close.
feels like was pretty high up there. So
Yep. And I still had to get out for my walk, and I tell myself um to get out and walk regardless. So I just have to make sure that I stayed hydrated and I stayed shaded. So we've got Karen, one of our regulars from Maryland. Thank you so much for joining us. So if you wanted to introduce our topic this week.
yes, this is we're going to be talking about eating more on a health journey because a lot of times diet culture makes you feel like less is more when it
Yep.
comes to eating. So we're going to talk about we're going to debunk that myth
Hmm.
and tell you ways to eat a little bit more and to stay full longer and just all the good things. So,
Absolutely. And we're also going to be talking about ways to conquer your cravings as well, a little bit, just to make sure that you don't go overboard. Because when you deprive yourself of things that you like, you have a more tendency to
yes.
overeat as
Yes,
well.
absolutely.
So one of the kind of uh, myths for diet culture is you can only eat 1,200 calories, and there is no one surefire amount of calories any person needs. Even probably, I would say, identical twins would still probably need slightly different variations on their intake because your body size, your sex, your activity level, all of that goes to play. So
Yes.
there's no one magic number. I know a lot of things. When you look at the nutrition label, it says based off of 2,000 calories. That's also not really a standard. It's kind of a generic guideline. So don't think that you have to stick to the 1,200 calories. There's no magic number for all of us.
Yes, and actually 1,200 calories is actually what's recommended for a toddler.
Yeah, we
Fun
actually
fact.
talked to our pediatrician, our daughter's pediatrician, and she said that's about what she needs at 5 years old.
Yeah. So fun fact. So you were not a toddler. So I know some people are smaller and they're like, I cannot lose weight unless I eat 1,000 calories a day, 1,100. I have heard somebody say, and I know it's difficult, if you are where it's saying you need to eat that many calories, then you need to get more active so you can eat more because your body still needs more fuel.
Hmm.
So definitely when it comes to eating, less is not more.
Mhm.
You're not going to
Lose
lose more
faster.
weight
Mhm.
faster just because you're eating less food.
Is one of the points here is your metabolism is kind of like a fire. The last time I met with a nutritionist, that was what she told me, that it's best to stoke that fire and not let it go out, because if you don't eat enough, or you don't eat, what we try to do is smaller portions throughout the day, so we're eating often. Actually, it seems like
Mhm.
every time we turn around, we're eating something with those small portions of it. You're stoking that fire and keeping that metabolism alive, so you don't slow it down too much
Mhm.
and be the opposite. Your body might retain that weight instead of losing it.
Yes, and also if you do not eat enough, you actually won't be able to lose weight in the long run. You will. I'm not going to sit here and act like you're not going to lose weight at all. You will lose weight at first, and you
Mhm.
probably will lose it pretty quickly if you're not eating enough. But you're gonna hit a wall. You're gonna hit a plateau, and that plateau is probably not going to break until you start eating more.
Mhm.
I hit a plateau for a while, and I actually started losing when I started eating more and eating what I was supposed to.
Mhm.
So that's another reason why less is not more. Like you need to eat what you're supposed to be eating. There are calorie calculators out there. You can go on healthy, and if you choose calories as your secondary metrics, it will also show you what you probably should be eating. I do feel like healthy's is a little bit on the higher end, but still, um, there still is like
It's
it
still
still gives
designed to
you
have you as a
yes.
deficit. Regina mentions on Facebook that she loses better if she eats a little bit more versus trying to eat less. Absolutely, and
You're,
we're going to be talking more about that too.
yes, because your body will be storing fat if you're not eating enough.
Absolutely. So stoke that metabolism, and just because you want to lower the calories doesn't mean you have to eat less. There are lots of nutrient dense foods out there, and this is what we've talked about this before. We kind of touched on it in a lot of our topics, is
Mhm.
volume eating. So you can eat something that is physically a lot, but the calories are less, because they tell you you can have like you know, 5 or 6 oranges for the same amount of calories as you can have in a donut or two.
Mhm.
Granted, that's not to say you can't have your donut or two, but are you going to be more full after 5 oranges? Granted, I don't know if I'm going to eat five
Yeah.
oranges, but are you going to be more full after 5 oranges or one donut? You're going to be a lot more full with the orange.
Mhm, exactly. And like we mentioned before, diet culture just kind of it messes with it sometimes. We've been
Mhm.
told, like I'm 36 years old and I've been told practically my whole life, like eat as little as possible, eat as little as possible. Like you're gonna lose weight if you eat as little as possible. And diet culture kind of makes us scared to eat what we love and what we
Mhm.
want. It makes us feel like food is boring
Or bad.
or bad. Like there's no good or bad foods. Like it's
Mhm.
all good in moderation. And like our daughter, she'll ask us now, like, Daddy, is this healthy for me? Like something like pizza. Like we went to Costco and got pizza, and she's like, Daddy, is Costco pizza healthy?
And she does that for lots of things.
Hmm.
Daddy, is cake healthy? Is candy healthy? And we try to get her out of that mindset so that she doesn't grow up thinking that food is bad. And we tell her, you can have pizza, just don't have it every day or have too much of it. You can have cake and enjoy it. And honestly, you could probably have
Hmm.
cake every day in small moderations, as long as you track it. But we try to get her out of the mindset of something's bad or something's unhealthy, and that's
Yes.
not the case.
Yes, because you can have anything in moderation. And also with this, just total side note, wasn't even in our notes. Just because something's on your plate also doesn't mean you have to eat it. That's another thing. The Happy Plate Club, I cannot stand that. Being in childcare, I hear kids all the time be like, I made a happy plate. And I will like correct them, be like, no, it is a happy plate if you ate what you wanted from the plate or not. Like if you ate it
Mhm.
all, great. If you didn't
If
want
you're
it all,
full.
and that's one thing that we are also teaching our daughter. Like she knows she does not have to eat everything on her plate, and
Mhm.
sometimes she uses it to her advantage. Even if like if she just doesn't like something, she's like, "My tummy says I'm full," and didn't really eat anything. But we are trying to teach her like listen
Mhm.
to your body.
Yes, because when in our generation when we were younger, it was kind of the rage that you couldn't leave the dinner table
Hmm.
until you finished your food. And the term I've heard a lot was there are starving people in Africa or China, and I'm like, well, why not give them our food? Which is a valid point. You don't have to finish your food, and we've had this conversation before. If we've had a big dessert that we've eaten, we feel like we need to eat it all so it doesn't go to waste. No, if we get a cake or make a cake and we only want half of it, it's not the end of the world if we throw it away or give it to somebody else,
Hmm.
because we don't have to eat those.
Yes, absolutely. And with that, food does not have to be boring. A lot of times when people think of a diet or a healthy lifestyle, they like you think of like grilled chicken, which I love me some grilled chicken, don't get me wrong, but like grilled chicken, baked chicken, any of that with like a salad or a veggie. That's not all you have to eat on a health journey.
Hmm.
I've talked about how my favorite thing is to take unhealthy recipes and like switch some of the ingredients around
Hmm.
to make it healthier. I will make some good casseroles all day long, and you will never believe that it is healthified. And healthy food does not have to be boring. And even a salad, like you can have a good salad that like tastes delicious and it's not going to be boring. It's going to be delicious. Like diet food, healthy food does not have to be boring.
And it can be colorful. Like if we have a salad, put some different colored bell peppers on there. Do all kinds of stuff. Tomatoes, we like to put salsa in ours to make the dressing go farther. But we probably eat better food than some people do when they're just eating fast food or unhealthy
Mhm.
or snacks all the time. I will definitely take my yogurt bowl over a ginormous bowl of cereal or donuts.
Yeah.
I guess it gives us the variety and the fiber, and I also, because I enjoy it, I also know that it is nutritious for my body too, so it makes it even more fun.
Someone on Facebook asked if I could make sesame chicken and make it healthy. I will work on that. Yes, I absolutely can probably work on that. I got you.
Absolutely. So we'll try to see if we can make a healthier version of that.
Chris is actually taking
Yeah,
a screenshot
and
of
taking a
that, so I don't
screenshot.
forget.
And so we also know who it was who asked it too. So,
Yes.
and Cindy also mentions that she told her mom once that I have never known a child to starve that has had a full plate in front of them. Absolutely. You know, if Kathleen it says that she's full because it's not something she likes, she's not gonna starve.
Mhm.
She's got other nutrition. She's had some snacks that probably she might have a little bit too much too much
Too many
snacks.
snacks.
But I
Yeah.
mean, she has if she goes without one meal because she doesn't like it, she's not going to go hungry.
Yes, absolutely. And we've talked about this a lot. I know you guys have probably heard us talk about this like 20 times, but you can have what you want with what you need. If there's something you really want and you're craving,
Mhm.
like chocolate, have it in a yogurt bowl. Have it with like some oatmeal, like something a little bit more healthier and something that's going to keep you full longer. Have it with that.
Mhm.
And then you get what you're craving, but you also get some nutrients. That's why we love, like, I've talked about my Reese's and my yogurt bowls. Like, you guys are probably sick of hearing me talking about my Reese's and my yogurt bowls. But I get my Reese's I'm craving, but I get like a protein packed, like, snack meal, whatever it is. Sometimes I have it as dessert, sometimes I have it as breakfast. You never know.
Mhm.
But I'm getting my Reese's that I want really badly with something more nutritious and healthier.
Mhm. Absolutely. I think that mantra might go on her tombstone. Have what you want with what you need.
Hashtag yogurt or Reese's yogurt bowls.
Yes. So it's really important to not deprive yourself of the things you like. I really like chips and dip. And that's not always the most healthy because I have a tendency to eat the whole entire bag or the whole tub of dip.
Hmm.
So what I like to do is I like to have some of that along with some other healthier items. If I'm craving chips and dip, I might have some pita chips and some hummus. A little bit more healthier option, but
Hmm.
what if I just want the Doritos? I will have some Doritos or some Cheetos, but I'll have some sort of healthy item mixed in with it. I
Yes.
might get a bowl of yogurt to go along with it, or have some other kind of thing.
It's actually
Deborah,
what I was just about to
yes,
mention.
Deborah made ranch dressing with cottage cheese, and it was so good. We love cottage
That was
cheese.
actually what I was going to mention because we're going to also talk about volume eating. With volume eating, find an alternative to that dip. You can use cottage cheese or Greek yogurt, mix it in with some ranch dip, or and you can even add like a splash of buttermilk or something to it. You can have, if you just really just want the volume, you can have so much more, and it's going to be packed with protein, and you can have like half the calories, three times the protein, but still get like probably three times as much dip if you
Mhm.
use like Greek yogurt or cottage cheese or both.
And if texture is a thing for you and you don't care for cottage cheese,
Blend it.
immersion blender it has been. We're actually going to be prepping some yogurt bowls for breakfast that
Mhm.
have cottage cheese, and we just take that immersion blender and blend it so it's nice and smooth, and then we add that into our
Yep,
yogurt
that's
bowls.
actually when we get off of this, that's what I'm gonna be doing is blending some cottage cheese. So
Yes. So add what you want, what you need in with what you want. It definitely all of this, the volume eating, having what you want along with what you need, to not depriving yourself, having healthier portions. All of this helps you build those better relationships with food. Because I think the bulk of our
Mhm.
problems, of our weight problems, have all stemmed from unhealthy relationships with food, eating when we're bored, eating too much, eating the wrong things, not getting those nutrient dense things, that it causes us to overeat.
Mhm. Yes.
Jody mentions that she craves white chocolate and cheesecake, and so this weekend she made a cheesecake protein ice cream, white chocolate protein ice cream in the Ninja Creamy. The Ninja Creamies are the best, but I have seen some people with some alternatives to the cheaper items because the Ninja Creamies are a little expensive. But you absolutely can make those things. That cheesecake ice cream sounds really good.
I love that, Cindy. Cindy said that her doctor told her in regard to her daughter that you decide what she eats, but she decides how much. I love that.
Hmm. Absolutely. Um, And we tell our daughter, if she ever gets, and she's 5, if don't worry about what you're eating, and whether it's healthy. And mom, that's mommy and daddy's job. We are here to help make sure that you're getting what you need. Just enjoy yourself. We don't want her to worry about it, but we do
Mhm.
want her to be conscious about things. When we have the scale out, we don't talk about checking to see how much we weigh. We talk about how checking how strong we are.
Mhm.
The weight is not a good or a bad thing, but it does measure how healthy we are, or how strong we are. So she gets on the scale. She got on the scale the other day. She goes, "Look how strong I am, Daddy." I don't want her to be obsessive about it. I want her to have a healthy relationship with the weight
Mhm.
and the food. But that's our job as adults to
Yes.
help her. But it's also our jobs as for us, is making sure that we stay within our limits, but enjoy what we want. Like it can't be boring, because
Mhm.
that's probably the biggest reason people fail on their health journeys, is they're bored, or they don't know what to eat or how to make it fun and
Yes.
exciting.
And that's why it's so important that your food is not boring, and that it is something that you like. And with that, like talking about how less is not more and that much. Some people like they start to binge and stuff because they are eating too little. They're
Hmm.
eating not enough. But some people also they just like seeing that full plate of food. And there's a couple things you can do to help with that. You can find foods like talking with the volume eating, find foods that you can eat a lot of for little calories. One of my favorites swaps. I cannot. Words are hard. One of my favorite swaps is spaghetti squash
Hmm.
instead of noodles. You guys know we love our carbs. We're not saying carbs are bad, but you can have a ton of spaghetti squash just and you feel like you're having like a whole big huge bowl of spaghetti if you
Hmm.
have like and it's not going to taste just like spaghetti. Like I'm not going to sit here and be like you can't even tell it's
You
you
can,
can, but you
but
can
it's
have
still
a
good.
ton of it. Um so just finding things like that. Fruits and vegetables are one of the best things if you're a volume eater because you can just sit there and I mean I wouldn't sit there with just like a whole pound of fruit and eat it because
Just
there are
because it's
still those natural
expensive,
sugars and they
and
are
it's expensive.
expensive.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is find those healthy swaps that help you with your volume eating. So if you are one of those people that just like see a big huge plate of food, you can still have that. Find those things that are lower in calories but higher in quantity.
Grapes. Courtney mentioned a couple months ago how she gets a bag of grapes sometimes, and she'll eat 3 or 4 here, 3 or 4 there, and that keeps her satiated
Mhm.
for a pretty significant amount of time, and it gets her to her lunch break.
Yes, absolutely. But another thing you can do, and I know it sounds silly and crazy, but if you really are like a volume eater and you just need to see that full plate,
Mhm.
um, use toddler utensils. I know it
Smaller
sounds
plates.
silly, but smaller
It's not.
plates, smaller like spoons, utensils, it really tricks your brain into thinking you're eating more.
Hmm.
Like if you have this piece of chicken on this big plate, it's not going to look like much. But if you have this piece of chicken on that toddler plate, it's going to look like you have a massive piece of chicken. It's going to kind of trick your brain a little bit. That's what I like to do with the ice cream. If I have like, I mean, obviously, if I have like my Ninja Creamy ice cream, I'm going to go to town on the whole pint. Like it's fine. But if I have like the full fat ice cream, I will get a very small bowl, like the smallest bowl I can find, but I'll fill that sucker up. But it's
Hmm.
still like
It's overflowing,
it's overflowing, but it's
but
still
it's a
like
smaller portion.
less than a serving.
Yep. It just mind
Typically,
over
I
matter,
will weigh it
basically.
just to make sure I'm not
Oh
going
yeah.
overboard just in case. But mind over matter. Use the smaller things, use smaller spoons, smaller cups, smaller, you know, smaller everything, and it will trick your brain.
Absolutely. Um, some things to focus on for kind of volume eating are whole unprocessed foods as much as possible. Fruits, veggies, lean proteins, whole grains, things that have a lot of protein, fiber, and water content. Those are going to be really big in helping you feel more full and less likely to binge. We've talked about fiber last week. Having a little bit of the phylum husk or a fiber supplement before you eat your meal will also help you feel more full because it kind of expands in your stomach. So those types of things will definitely help.
Yes, but find things that are going to help you feel full longer as well. But also remember, I keep repeating the same sentence over and over again today. Less is not always more on your health journey.
So Jody mentions getting chickpea flour and water and make chickpea fries. I have not tried that, but we should definitely give that a try.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But also totally random. It has nothing to do with this, but for some reason it made me think of that. We got the best lentil thing from Costco. It was so good.
It was
It's
like
high in protein. Like
it's a lentil bean kind of bean type thing. I guess it was as a free sample. They were serving it as chili, but we had it tonight on our hot dogs.
it was so good that Chris grabbed the box and was like, "We're getting this. I don't care how much it is."
Yeah, one serving of those lentil bean kind of chili mix had 8 grams of protein,
And the whole bag, if you wanted the whole
and it
bag,
had
was
no
like,
meat.
Yeah.
But it still had protein. That was what we talked about. We talked about lentils and legumes and other types of things as ways to get your protein in. And it did not take. I mean, some people hate lentils. I do like lentils. I just was forced to eat them a lot when I was little, so it kind of I have a negative connotation to it. But it was delicious and didn't even feel like we were eating lentils.
Yes. But we keep getting distracted. But like I was saying, in your health journey, less is not always more because, like we said, if you eat too little, you're going to store fat. You're not going to be able to lose weight, and it's going to get frustrating, and you're going to give up. So I know, like sometimes you want to just lose weight super, super, super fast, but eating more and losing weight slower, but keeping it off longer, and it being more consistent and easier to do over time, it's the better way to go. So don't eat as little as possible. I am one of those people. I like to eat as much as I possibly can to still lose weight. So I'm gonna sit here at the tippy top of my calorie range. I don't know what he's doing. I'm gonna like at the tippy top of my calorie range. That's where I'm gonna be. It feels weird to be by myself right now. But I'm gonna try to get the tippy top of my calorie range. And that's where I'm going to be. So I'm one of those people that do the opposite. I do not try to eat as little as possible. I try to eat as much as I possibly can to still see weight loss.
Sorry, where was the question at? Oh, on Instagram, somebody asked the opinion of Premier Protein, and we actually just got these at Costco the other day. This is the cookie dough Premier Protein. I don't think we've tried very many Premier Proteins that we don't like. Granted, there are going to be some flavors that you don't particularly like, but we're pretty big fans of a Premier Protein.
Yes, I will say I am a Fairlife girly through and through. If you give me I will pick Fairlife over anything, but I do like Premier Proteins and I do enjoy them. But
and they're easy to find, and they do have some good
I want to say it was like an 18-pack for like $30, which isn't bad for protein shakes nowadays. Like that's less than $2 a shake.
And then this is what we were talking about earlier. This is the MRE Light by Redcon One. This is the whole food protein that's quite tasty as well.
Also, going back to the Premier Protein, the cookie dough one, well, all of them really, they're really good in coffees. If you are a protein,
whatever it is. Protein, but any protein is really good in coffee because you can have this whole shake, 160 calories, and add a shot of espresso to it and have a latte. So very good. So Jody Linden's mentioning a video for chickpea fries.
I'll have to look that up.
We'll definitely have to look that up. But we are running a little behind. We've got about 5 minutes or so. So let's go ahead and talk about the delicious recipe that Coach Delicia said that she's going to have to try soon. So let us know how you like it. But I'll go ahead and let Courtney take over.
Yes. This is crock-pot sausage and peppers. I love this one. It's been a very long time since we've made this one. It's so good, so easy. You guys know I love a crock-pot meal. I feel like most of my meals lately are crock-pot meals because school's about to start back and there's just not enough time in the day. But sweet Italian style turkey sausage, the Butterball brand, sweet Italian, it's 5 links. That's the whole package. I think it's a pound's worth. So it's 5 links. 3 green bell peppers, 2 medium yellow onions, and a 24-ounce jar of Rayo's marinara sauce. I say Rayo's because there is no added sugars to that. Aldi also has a marinara sauce that has no added sugars. So the ones with no added sugars are going to have less bites, less calories, all of that fun stuff. But dice the onions and bell peppers up. And then once those are diced up, add all of your ingredients to the crock pot, stir it, and combine it. You also add whatever seasonings you would like. I'm really bad about not putting my seasonings on my recipes because people season to taste. People like different seasonings. So whatever seasonings you like, I probably just do salt and pepper with this one because there's so much flavor in the turkey sausage and the marinara sauce. But season to your liking. Some Italian would also be really good with this. But season to your liking, stir it all together. Cook on high 4 to 5 hours and low 7 to 8 hours. Remove the sausage and dice it up into small, probably like inch pieces. Add it back in, stir it, let it cook for literally like 5 or 10 more minutes, and then it's done. We put ours in hoagie buns, but you can also put it over rice, put it over, I mean, pretty much over anything you want to. You can even have it by itself. This is a little higher in bites than what I typically share. It is between 6 and 7 bites. 263 calories, 12.6 net carbs, and 14.6 grams of protein.
But delicious. When we talk about volume eating, adding extra bell peppers and onions will add some more volume while being very, very minimal in adding calories.
Yes. It actually, like, splitting this into the 6 servings, you actually get quite a bit because this is 3 bell peppers, 2 onions, and you can even add other vegetables to it if you would like. Zucchini would be good in this. Squash would probably be good in it. Like, any of that would probably be good. You can add extra vegetables, but it's actually quite a bit of food.
Add some lentils.
Yes. Probably not lentils. But
you probably wouldn't be able to taste them very well.
That's true. But it is actually a decent amount of food because of all the veggies.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So we hope that you enjoyed this talk tonight. So Courtney, we'll try to come up with that recipe and see if we can share that soon. Let's see. Shelley uses flavored tomatoes in a cans of garlic and onion. We love those too. Any of those types of things.
Yes, you can also just do canned tomatoes if you like it. I just don't like my stuff very chunky. And then she also mentioned that she puts it in a bun with mozzarella cheese for her husband. That's how we normally actually do ours. We'll just put it in like a hot dog bun with some mozzarella, and it's so good. It's so good.
It's very good. And you can also substitute other kinds of sauces like turkey kielbasa, any of those types of lean meats as well. So
even meatballs would be good.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Now, even though I've already eaten, I'm getting hungry. But yes, thank you so much for joining us this week. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you all next week. Bye. Bye.